Move on the floor there by Russo. As the Spartans inbound the ball under their own goal again right now. Looks like, all right, we're going to have the score update here for you on screen. The Spartans with a quick inbound basket. It's 4-0 Spartans. Wyoming's bringing the ball back up the court. Now we're cooking with hot grease, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see the score, and I don't have to call it out because you're going to hear me talk enough tonight, Ruben.
Spartans force another turnover down on the defensive end of the court and get the ball back.
Fantastic defense tonight by the Spartans in just a couple of minutes of basketball. I've got to tell you, watch this Spartan women's basketball team play all year last year. Tough move inside by Danny Russo, can't get it to fall. The Mustangs rebound. Watch this team play quite a little bit last year. And in the first 3 minutes of this game, I can tell you, this team is tougher, they're more athletic, they're more competitive. This team's here to play tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me. Now, I say this a lot. It wouldn't surprise me if you really see this women's Spartan basketball team shake up the standings in Scenic West Conference play this year.
They're definitely showing a lot of heart tonight from what I've seen so far. I'm looking forward to how the rest of the game plays out.
As am I. A real good matchup tonight against the Western Wyoming Mustangs. Seems like every game we called last year, whether it was the men or women's Spartans, regardless of whether it was the men or women's team playing, it seems like every time they stepped out on the floor, the opposing team was about 4 inches taller than they were at every slot. That's not going to be the case tonight, and it's certainly not going to be the case this year when the men's Spartan basketball team take the floor. And you'll see what I'm saying here in just a couple of hours. The women still aren't particularly tall, but they hustle, and just like that again, on the inside, Danny Russo with a tough inside look, and she draws the foul. She's going back to the line.
Now hopefully we get another 2 here. That's going to put them on 6 if they get it.
Indeed. You talk about sophomore leadership. I've wondered that myself as we come into this basketball year. 4 of the 5 starters from last year's women's basketball team are not on the floor this year. Danny's the only returning starter. And you got to ask yourself as a spectator, how do you replace that many points coming into a new season? Danny misses the front end of 2 free throws. She's got the second look right now. Gets the second one to go down, and the Spartans are up 5-0. And I guess the quick answer is you replace it that way.
Well, I think Danny's showing a lot of leadership out on the court right now. She's directed the play. She's showing the hustle. She's setting the tone for the game. And that's really making a difference on both ends of the ball.
No doubt. Folks, if you're looking down on the floor, I want to draw your attention to another name and another number. I was talking with Coach K before the game tonight, just kind of getting a feel for who she thought was going to perform. There's a young lady, a new starter on the team, on the floor right now, number 24, Alyssa Civitan. Alyssa performed this weekend with 26 points on Friday and 20 points on Saturday. That's 46 points in 2 games. Now, let's go back to that question again. How are you going to replace that much scoring? Well, it looks like you do it with young talent like we've got on the floor. Another hustle move by the Spartans. Another offensive turnover by the Mustangs. And the Mustangs are going to have to call a timeout. We're about 5 minutes deep into this game, and so far it's all the CNCC Spartans.
Well, and you gotta imagine Coach K is pretty happy with the team right now. They're showing a lot of heart. The ball's not dropping for them as much as they'd like, but they're still ahead in this game. They're making the headway. They're getting the defensive plays. And you're seeing that grit and grind coming from them.
You know, it bears mention, this is the first home game of the year for the Spartans. It's a road game for the Mustangs, and though both teams have probably seen a little preseason action, this is night number 1 of the basketball season, official first night certainly for Scenic West Conference basketball, but for college basketball really at every level. You turn on ESPN tonight, Ruben, you're going to see a lot of basketball being played. I sat by my office phone all summer long. ESPN never called.
Why not?
And so here we are today. But that's all right. I wouldn't rather be any place in the world than here in Heffley Arena tonight. And I'll tell you, a lot of it was ginned up by me, admittedly. But you walk around the campus here in Rangeley today, and the excitement was palpable. For a town of less than 2,000 people, Rangeley, Colorado gets fired up about college basketball here. And as the night goes on, you'll see more and more people get off work, finish their dinner, and head into the arena tonight. Everybody on campus was excited today for sure. And the Spartans are putting on a show. So far right now, they're giving everybody what they paid for an admission coming into the arena. Inbound right now by the Spartans, number 11, Courtney Freeman gets the ball in. Number 23, Audrey Jorgenson works it down court, and there's the ball in the hands of Danny Russo, and she's going to dish it off for an assist. And that's a quick bucket by Talia Afuli. Talia, I'm going to say your name horribly all year long, but I'm really trying, so if your mom and dad are at home listening tonight, please forgive me. But hey, great shot, 2 more points for the Spartans. Off to a 7-0 lead. Ball off Western Wyoming at the other end of the court, and we're headed back down the Spartans' way. I'll tell you what, Ruben, it's going all Spartans right now after the first 5 minutes of play.
Well, and Western Wyoming's coming with almost a full court press. The last 2 times down the court, they've been right on the Spartans. There's another foul, another shot for the Spartans.
Number 34.
Going to the line again.
Talia Afubi. Oh, they're going to get her with an offensive foul, folks. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but that was a tough call for an offensive foul. It looked like a real hustle play to me by Talia. But
it's hard to get an offensive foul when you fall backwards, I think.
Nonetheless, ball's going the other way for Western Wyoming. Can't win them all tonight, and we'll take that call. Spartans are hustling, setting up on defense at the other end for sure.
You know, at the end of the day, it'll even out in the end. There'll be calls going both ways. The refs are doing the best that they can. The Spartans are coming down the court again. You got 3-on-2.
That's a transition move. Number 23, Audrey Jorgenson takes it coast to coast, but she can't finish. There's some confusion on the floor. Looks like we had a player down. They're going to stop play, make sure everybody gets back to the Spartan end of the court, and the Spartans are going to inbound the ball with another shot at it here. Quick inbound pass to Danny Russo, and she wastes no time filling up the cylinder. You know, we started this broadcast off saying a lot of good things about Danny, and it looks like she's absolutely going to – that name's going to get mentioned over and over again tonight and this season.
She's living up to the hype with the strip right there on Western Wyoming. The Spartans have the ball again.
Absolutely fantastic defense tonight by the Spartans basketball team. I'll tell you, one of the better defensive performances I've seen this team have. And we're only halfway through the first part of the first half.
Well, I gotta say, Keith, I'm pretty excited about the way this is going right now. This is all Spartans.
It is an exciting night here at Heffley Arena. Folks, you can't see us up here at the broadcast booth, but we just got a big smile and a thumbs up from Athletic Director Kendra Roby, which means this is working and you're hearing us out there, which is a victory in and of itself. I want to take an opportunity to thank Athletic Director Roby. Kendra does an absolutely fantastic job of running athletics here at Colorado Northwestern Community College, whether it's basketball, volleyball, our newly reinvigorated soccer program, baseball, softball. We do it all here at Colorado Northwestern, and we do it under the leadership, the incredible leadership of Athletic Director Kendra Roby. Got another travel on Western Wyoming. We're now at 11-0. All Spartans. It's got to be tough, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Ruben. You know, regardless of what school, these student athletes, awful lot demanded of them.
Oh, yeah.
They got to keep up their studies. They got to make it to practice. They're traveling all the time. They're under an awful lot of expectations. And I think it's important, too, for that's quick inside bucket by number 10, Courtney Lemon. Courtney's a dual sport athlete here at CNCC. She's also a cowgirl on the rodeo team, for those of you who don't know. But all of the student athletes work really, really hard. And, you know, I think it's important sometimes to realize these are 17, 18, 19-year-old kids out here.
Yeah.
And the demands that are put on them in order to play college athletics is rather extraordinary. And so no matter what the scoreboard says, every single one of the student athletes out here tonight is a winner. That sounds cliche to say, but it's the God's honest truth, and just really proud every time any one of them takes the floor.
It takes a special type of person to take that on, both the academic and the athletic side of things.
Brag a little bit about the academics here in the athletic program at Colorado Northwestern Community College. Ruben, as you know, in my day job, I'm the academic vice president here at the college. One of the things I love to brag about the most about our athletic program is not one, but two academic All-American athletic teams here at Colorado Northwestern Community College. Our Spartans are getting it done on the floor, on the court, on the field, and they're also getting it done in the classroom, and there's nothing that could make me prouder.
Well, that's what you hope for, and there's another steal for the Spartans.
Look at this, and that's a kick back to number 24, Alyssa Civitak, and Coach said look out because she can fill it up quick, and there's a three-pointer from way downtown by number 24. And at 16-0, the Western Wyoming Mustangs are having to call for mercy, another timeout halfway through the first period here.
The Spartans are notably fired up, and I think you can understand why.
Well, and I'll tell you, Ruben, to be honest, this team struggled last year. A lot of heart, a lot of amazing student athletes that took the floor for women's Spartan basketball last year. But the win-loss column was a tough proposition for this team. It's almost like this year's Spartan team has come out here right out of the gate and said, we're going to send a message. Notice is served. Scenic West Conference, if you think you're getting the same Spartans as in the years past, you better think again.
Oh, that's definitely apparent on the court tonight. I mean, the focus is there, the intensity is there. They are definitely fired up and ready to go.
That's obvious. 16-0, folks, for those of you who are just now tuning in. Inbound play by the Mustangs. They're going to get into their half-court offense and see if they can end this scoring drought. They got about 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter here. Looks like a reach in. Quick foul by the Spartans. And the Mustangs are going to get to inbound under the goal again. Got some substitutions on the floor. Danny Russo finally coming off of the floor. We're going to get to call somebody else's name here for a couple of seconds, Ruben.
Looks like it's Michaela Lack coming in.
And that's an excellent drawn-up play by Western Wyoming off the inbound pass for a nice three-pointer there. Good to see the Mustangs on the board, and now we are off and rolling, folks. And just like that, a quick answer by number 34, Talia Abubi, who's also got 6 quick points in tonight's affair. It's refreshing to see, I'll tell you, Ruben, you never know what to think in junior college athletics in that first game of the year when you've got so many incoming freshmen that are going to play such a big factor on every team, and nobody's seen them play. You know, you hear what they're capable of, you watch them in practice, but until you get on the court, you never really know. And we're finding out an awful lot about this young Spartans team at 18-3 right now, with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Definitely some grit with this team this year. You know, there's a lot of nerves and excitement, especially with the young team that this is. You know, a lot of these, this may be their first time playing college ball. And that can show sometimes, but they're definitely not playing like
Yeah, no, not at all. And I'll tell you, we talk an awful lot about the youth of the Spartans program right now. I think it's worth pointing out, as I look down the roster here, the entire starting 5 for the Western Wyoming Mustangs are freshmen. And not a particularly sophomore-heavy team on that end either. And so you've got a lot of first-time collegiate athletes out here tonight. They're making their families proud. They're making their schools proud.
They're living the dream. For many of them, this is the dream of
Indeed.
high school. You work hard, you study hard in high school. So to get the chance to come out and play college, at the youth, whatever level that might be, it's a dream come true for them. It's a lot of them have larger aspirations. They want to go further. They want to be able to move on and get themselves.
And it's always a pleasure to get to know the players and what they want to do after this. And I'm always intrigued. They always have such interesting stories and such varied hopes and aspirations. But nonetheless, a lot of first-time college athletes out here tonight. Mom and Dad, if you're listening at home, be proud. Everybody's doing incredible this evening. You're getting to see your daughter live playing college basketball, and it doesn't get much better than that. That's a foul on the inside by the Western Wyoming Mustangs. That's going to put number 34, Talia Apuvi, on the line. And Talia's been filling up the stat sheet tonight. Oh, and just in and out on that, the front end of a 2-shot trip to the charity stripe. Ruben, that shot did everything but go through the cylinder.
Very much so.
You called it, partner. You called it. She dropped that right through the hoop. And the Spartans go up 19-4. Folks, we got 1 minute and 38 seconds left here in the first quarter of basketball at Heffley Arena. Again, if you're just joining us, it's opening night here at the Heff for Spartans basketball. And boy, is the women's Spartan basketball team really putting on one heck of a show for us here tonight. That was a solid move by number 25, Sorry Thomas, for the Mustangs. Tough luck, couldn't get it to drop, but looked good cutting to the rack there. Just like that, we're back down to the Spartan end of the floor. Number 23, Audrey Jorgenson, looking at the front end of a one-on-one here. Let's see if she can convert this first one. And she does. Didn't even see the net move on that one. You can't get much more perfect form than that. Nice shot by Audrey. She's got the second one coming up right now. Spartans go up 20-4. And she hits the second one. 21-4. Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter. Folks, when we come back from the halftime break, our mad statisticians down at the scorers table there will be sending us up some of the game time stats so we can share with you how everybody's doing. Another tough look by Western Wyoming. Quick rebound by number 24, Alyssa Sitback, and we're going the other way.
Got it stripped.
Alyssa lost the handles on that one, and here we come back for the Western Wyoming Mustangs. They're going to cut right into the rack. Oh, and just a little bit too hard off the glass. Bodies hit the floor, scrambling for the ball. You like to see that kind of hustle by both teams. Let's see what the referees say once they sort it out.
Well, it looks like the Spartans are a little off kilter right now. You had a couple subs at that last break, and I think they're struggling to get their form back. But I think they'll get lined out here pretty quick.
Coach K playing a little rest some of the players game here in the last 40 seconds, trying to get some of her big-time scorers a couple of quick breaths here before they come back in for the second quarter. And doesn't matter who's on the floor for the Spartans right now. They are playing defense out of their minds. Hold the Western Wyoming to 4 points here in the first quarter. long three-point miss by number 23, Audrey Jorgenson. It looks like it's going to give the Mustangs about 15 seconds to see if they can add to this 4 points.
Let's see what the Spartans do with
Have a
this
little
offense.
urgency here if you're the Mustangs. Get the ball up the court. Trying to find a look. Clock's winding down, and a travel turnover by the Mustangs. Ruben, looks like the Spartans are going to get one last look.
They'll get one. We'll see how far they go with it. You want to get it to your best three-point shooter at this point. Someone with a good arm. You're not going to have much range for it.
Yeah, not much to lose there, right? Just get the ball down the court, get it up in the air, but you better launch it real quick because the clock's running out.
Sure.
Audrey gets it up, but she can't quite convert by about 20 feet. But that was a good shot. She had somebody all over her at that point. First period of basketball at Heffley Arena for the season is over, and folks, 21-4 Spartans. How about this Spartans women's basketball program? Folks at home, we're going to take a quick 20-second breather. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you. All right, folks, that's the buzzer. Welcome back. Period 2 of play here at Heffley Arena. Folks, if you're just joining us, we got a great one going on tonight here in Rangeley, Colorado, between your CNCC Spartans and the Western Wyoming Community College Mustangs. Spartans are up on the scoreboard, 21-4 right now after 1 quarter of play. I'm Keith Peterson. This is Ruben Talbot. Ruben, I wouldn't get comfortable if I were the Spartans, though.
No.
A lot of basketball ahead.
No, that's a danger a lot of teams get into. They get comfortable, they get a good, strong lead, and then they start resting back. And it's hard. Once you set back and you start resting, it's hard to come back from that, get that momentum again, especially when you're having a battle uphill.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, a lopsided first quarter like that one, you got the tendency for there to be a bit of a letdown, you know, as you come back out and take the floor. But you'd have to be crazy if you think the Mustangs are just going to go, oh, well, tough first quarter, we're heading on back home now.
No, you know they're fired up.
Yeah, I got a feeling their coach had a word or two to say, and I got a feeling they're going to come out in this second quarter pretty inspired, and the Spartans got to be ready for that.
He had a few words at the end of the first quarter. Let's see if it fires his team up a little bit and how the Spartans respond.
Well, the Spartans force the end of the shot clock there. The Mustangs get the shot up, but it doesn't go in, and we're back down the floor with the Spartans. Let's see if they can get back to their offense rather quickly. Nice looking three-pointer.
Just off the rim.
But just didn't go in. You notice you got a couple of the starters still getting an extended rest here for Coach K. She's going to take advantage of this big lead and let those starters really get their breath caught.
It also gives some of the other players a chance to show their skills and prove to the coach that they deserve to be in there. So they need to take advantage of this opportunity.
You know, a great season this year. I admit, Ruben, I sneak over to the gym quite a little bit during the day to check in on how the teams are doing. I want to talk about the impact that a new addition to the CNCC family has had. Head coach Cheryl Klosterman last year coached the entire season without an assistant coach. And hats off to Coach K, because what a Herculean task that must have been. But right as we began the school year this year, we hired new assistant women's basketball coach Tommy Turgeon. Tommy's got an excellent resume in women's college basketball. I see him out here every day working one-on-one with our Spartans, getting them ready for game day. And if you're Coach K, you got to be pretty darn pleased with the fact that you got a team that's responding, you got a coach that's working out. Could be a pretty good darn year for Spartans women's basketball this year.
Well, Western's going to have to watch Sam Lars, who's out there for first time just tonight. I watched her playing at the skills challenge the other day. She won the three-point competition, so I think if we can get her hot, get the ball out to her, she can really change the game and make an impact from the three-point line.
No doubt. Sam's a gamer. She's a second-year returner. She's been with the college for a couple of years now, and she can light it up when she gets out there. You said it yourself. You watched her at the skills competition, get a hot hand on Sam, and she can really turn that scoreboard over in a short amount of time. Do a little bit of bragging. Again, we've got not one now, Ruben, but two dual sport athletes out on the floor right now for the Lady Spartans. We mentioned number 10, Courtney Lemon, but also her cowgirl teammate, number 22, Hope Bondurant. Both rodeo team members as well as women's college basketball players. Pretty impressive, I tell you what, between rodeo and college basketball. Courtney and Hope don't get a lot of downtime in the school year, that's for sure. Western Wyoming able.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The rodeo season's wrapped up for the fall. They're getting ready in front for the spring at this point.
That is correct. Good inside look by Danny Russo. She's a little bit too hard off the glass, and the ball coming the other way for the Western Wyoming Mustangs, and a foul, but they can't get the conversion. That is correct, Ruben. For those of you listening at home, if you don't know, college rodeo is a unique animal. It has two seasons, a fall season and a spring. And the Spartan Rodeo team just finished up its competitive fall season. And in addition to freeing up some much-needed time for Miss Lemon and Miss Bondurant here, brag a little bit on our rodeo team's success. Did really, really well this fall. And Colorado Northwestern Community College Spartans boast the #1 ranked cowboy in junior college rodeo right now. That'd be Mr. Bo Southern, who was nationally ranked number 8 in bareback riding and number 2 ranked in bulls, for a combined ranking of #1 cowboy in the country. And aren't we a little proud here at Colorado Northwestern of Bo? Ruben, I saw this kid ride this summer.
Yeah, I was with you.
Man alive. Yeah. That was something else.
He's fun to watch.
Yes, he is. We're glad to have him on our side, I'll tell you that right now.
The Spartans right now, they're searching for an answer. They've gone for several points now, and just like that, right?
Great inside look. Could not convert by the Spartans.
They're going to have to find a basket here pretty quick. The Western Wyoming is creeping back up on them.
Filling it up with a three-pointer. Well, they're going to call that 2. Nonetheless, Ruben, it's just as we talked about coming into this quarter. These Mustangs didn't roll over and go away, that's for sure. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a basketball game and a turnover by the Spartans with some really tough defense there by Courtney Freeman.
It was a good effort. Good effort.
Really saving a transition basket there. Otherwise, that was going to be a quick and easy 2 for Western Wyoming. But we've gone from what potentially looked like a blowout basketball game here. We got an 8-point contest.
Yeah, they're back in it.
So let's see if the Spartans can respond. Coach K's got some starters back in the game now. They're going to D up here. And just like that, some excellent D by the Spartans. On-ball defense by number 12. Who else? Number 12, Danny Russo, forcing a turnover. The ball's going the other way with the Spartans. Now the key is, can the Spartans turn this turnover into some points?
They're going to have to here pretty quick, I think, just to regain their momentum and their confidence. They proved that they could do it. They just got to get it on the board.
Yeah, no doubt. And I tell you what, give a lot of credit to these Western Wyoming Mustangs. This is like a different team on the floor in the second quarter here. I don't know what the coach had to say to them between quarters, but whatever it was, it sure did work.
Well, they triple teamed Danny there. She's going in for the shot, but she had a tough row to hoe there.
Now we're going back the other way for the Spartans. Excellent outlet pass, a little bit too much. Looks like Russo's going to keep up with it. Now she's going to decide what she's going to take it all the way in herself. Excellent move to the rack. Great spin move, just a little bit too hard off that glass.
Couldn't get it to fall.
We're going the other way for the Mustangs. Three-point shot, real good look by the Mustangs, couldn't fall. I'll tell you what, watching these Mustangs on the offensive end of the floor, they're moving the ball around a whole lot better on offense right now. It seems like maybe some of that early season, on the road, first game of the year jitters, rust got knocked off, but you just see a little bit more confidence out of the Mustangs. You see them getting them into the offensive set a little bit better. And really, just at the end of the day, protecting the ball a whole lot more than they did.
There's a lot more bite in the way they're playing. There's a lot more energy, and their coaches got them fired up fairly well. And they've got the number. They've had the number of the Spartans for the last few minutes.
Yeah, they really have. Essentially holding the Spartans to just a free throw so far in the second quarter. And then there's another missed three-pointer by the Spartans as we go the other way for the Western.
Danny.
Look at this steal by Danny Russo. She's going to take it all the way. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Western Wyoming. I'll tell you what, that one was close.
That was close.
Danny pulled up short. She drew the foul, but there was an awful lot of contact going both ways.
Got two more subs coming in.
Non-shooting foul on that because she never actually put the ball up. So the Spartans are going to take it in bounds. But I got to tell you, kind of a blown opportunity there for the Spartans. I mean, that was a straight-up breakaway that they didn't convert. Yeah.
I think there you see some of those nerves.
Yeah. There's Sam Lars putting it up. Just like you said earlier, Sam a little off on that one, but she didn't hesitate to pull the trigger. When she got the ball, she was quick to shoot. Yeah.
And I think that's what you need to see more from the Spartans right now. A little bit more confidence, just willing to take the shot, work together, pass the ball around, get that teamwork going.
Yep. Look at that. I don't even know where she came from, Ruben. I saw a wall of Mustangs, and through that wall emerged Danny Russo to grab the ball and put it in the basket for 2 points. Turnover for the Mustangs. Want to say a thank you to everybody out there who tuned in tonight to listen to Spartans basketball. I'll give you a heads up after the game, the first game here, don't go anywhere. We got a doubleheader going on tonight. Men's college basketball tips off tonight as well at shortly after 7 o'clock. You're going to see the Western Wyoming Mustang men's basketball team take the floor against the CNCC men's Spartans basketball.
Well, if it's anything like this competition, it's going to be gritty. It's going to be fast. It's going to be moving. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
It's been a slugfest tonight. It's been a tale of 2 quarters, if you will. The first one was all Spartans. And this second one has primarily so far been the Western Wyoming Mustangs, who have really, and give them credit, fought their way back into this basketball contest. It's a contest now. It's not a 20-point rout. We've got a game.
It's just a 10-point separation at this point. The fouls are about even. You got about 5 minutes left in this quarter. We'll see what the Spartans do with it. I think Coach K is giving her team a pep talk on slow the ball down, take the ball to them. Play your game. Don't let them manage the pace of the game.
Yeah, don't let it get away from you.
Yeah.
You know, you're still very much in control of this basketball game. So stay in control of this basketball game. We got 4 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first half here. Lady Spartans with the ball, trying to get into offense. They're moving the ball around really well right now, and those are some great moves there by number 24. Alyssa Civitat. Alyssa's had a big game and a big preseason. So if you're just joining us, another little update here, a little reminder, don't go anywhere during halftime. We're going to have an interview with head basketball coach Nate Tarrin and third-year sophomore Drakez Harvey for the CNCC Spartans. They're going to come talk to us about Act 2 of the doubleheader tonight. Looking forward to talking to those fellas. Looking forward to seeing what Drakez can do this year on the floor. Tell you what, that kid's been working his heart out in this preseason. Every day I see this kid over here in the 300 shots a day is what Coach Tarrin's got to take.
Really? 300?
300 shots a day.
Sounds like someone who's got something to prove.
Well, he's a floor leader. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, as much as we talk about not much returning for the Spartans women's basketball program here, you're going to hear the same story when the men's team comes on the floor.
Well, what you do have this year, from what I've seen and what I've been told, is you've got more height. And that may make a big difference when it comes down to those tight games.
It's going to be a huge difference in height. In some cases, we may even have a height advantage for the men's Spartan basketball team, which is we could never say last year under any matchup that we played. Folks, draw your attention to the scoreboard, and the Mustangs are shutting the Spartans down in this second quarter right now. With the ball in hand, only down by 5. They've erased a 16-point deficit.
Yep.
Or let me say they've whittled a 16-point deficit down to 5 here in this second quarter. Spartans have only put up 3 points so far in the second quarter of play.
They're going to have to find a response here. They're going to have to find it quick, or they're going to find themselves in trouble.
Coach K is going to have to light a fire under them for sure. What you don't want to do is lose control of this matchup going into halftime.
No. There's plenty of time left on the clock. There's no time to panic. Nope. You just got to get yourself collected, get yourself back in the game.
Stay composed. A lot of ebb and flow over the course of 4 periods of play here. And that's the miss the front end by Danielle Thomas, the Western Wyoming Mustangs. She's going to have a second try here, see if she can get the Mustangs within 5.
Well, I think what I've seen with the Spartans is happening. They're forcing it more. They're not letting the game come to them. They're trying to force the game, and it's working to their disadvantage right now.
Well, the hype's burned off.
Everyone's worn off.
Opening night, all the excitement in the arena, all the excitement around the college. Okay, now we're just playing basketball, and that's a turnover by the Spartans right as they get the ball back. And I got to tell you what, a score here by the Mustangs, and they're within a basket of the Spartans right now. And would you have thought that 6 minutes ago?
Not the way that first quarter started. They just ran away with it, completely controlled the game. So the fact that Western Wyoming is back in this again, they got to find that solution. They're going to have to find that basket, get their confidence back, and just keep at it.
Oh, and we got a charge from Western Wyoming on number 23, Brittany Hatch.
Well, that may help fire up the Spartans. They're pretty excited about that. Now they've got to turn it into points.
Number 23, Brittany Hatch for the Mustangs at 6'1". She's the tallest player on the floor right now. She had a good-looking move to the inside. It just so happens a Spartan was standing right there outside of the restricted zone. And that ball's going the other way. Let's see if CNCC can capitalize on this turnover. Goodness knows they really need to, that's for sure.
Inside out. Oh, it's just
there's Sam again with a launch of a 3 from way deep, and boy, she's not off the mark by much on that one, but nonetheless, it's going the other way for the Mustangs, and we're under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Big three-pointer by number 1, Sammy Lewis of the Western Wyoming Mustangs, and Ruben, we've got a 2-point basketball game here right now. An impressive offensive display by the Mustangs in this second quarter.
There's the answer.
Finally, some sophomore leadership by number 22, Hope Bondurant. Gets us off the schneid and gets some points on the board here for the Colorado Northwestern Spartans. Well, that's a tough out-of-bounds play, but it's going to go back towards the Spartans. Another turnover for Western Wyoming. You got to think, if they can get some points on this possession,
Gain some momentum back.
really get things going back in the direction of the Spartans here. But let's see what they can do. Top scorer on the Spartans, Danny Russo, on the bench right now. The Spartans are looking tough defense by the Mustangs. Boy, they are contesting every pass right now. And look at that move by number 24, Alyssa Civitak, again, showing what a freshman can do. She extends that lead to 27-21.
Well, that was a good use of pace, you know, some quick moves and slowing up, and then she just took it around him.
I'll tell you what, that kid's here to play. She can shoot, she can cut to the rack, she plays great defense. Coach came and told me she scored 46 points in 2 nights. I went, come on. Who are you guys playing? No, not at all. She is every bit as she's been built. So far, it's been impressive to watch this young lady on the floor tonight. Ruben, this is game number 1. She's going to be a Spartan for 2 more years. How about that?
Exciting.
I got a feeling all conference is coming up in her career. We'll see how it goes, but so far tonight, she really and really been filling some valuable minutes with Russo off the floor.
And they need that. They need someone to step up.
Big rebound by the Spartans, up 27-22 after the front end was hit of that free throw trip by the Western Wyoming Mustangs. 1:18 left to play in the half. I got to tell you, Ruben, I'm going to slow the ball down a little bit right now if I'm the Spartans. There's no rush. The
1.5 with the lead.
Sam Lars finally hits that shot. She had a toe on the line, though, Parker. They're going to call that a 2, but that was a good-looking shot.
It was beautiful.
A good-looking shot. 7-point lead by the Spartans, under a minute to play. And that's a big foul right there.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to take their foot off the gas after that last play.
Not at all.
Got to find a solution on the defensive side as well. That's 2 times down the court, Dave.
You got to think ball control for the next 55 seconds. Play within yourselves. You're going to go into halftime at home with the lead in the home opener. You know, as much as they coughed up of the lead in this second quarter, you're still in the driver's seat if you're Coach K. You still got to be really happy about where you're at going into halftime.
Very much so.
And that's 2 free throws by number 23, Brittany Hatch, the Western Wyoming Mustangs. We got 52 seconds left in the first half of the contest here. Let's see what the Spartans do with the ball. They're not going to put up a quick shot, but it doesn't look like they're going to hesitate either if they get the good look. They're looking for the right window, but the clock's winding down. About 30 seconds left in the half. We're under 10 on the shot clock, and we got to do something now. Looks like we've held on a little bit too long. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession going back to the Spartans on that. They're not going to get a reset on that shot clock, though. They are indeed. They are going to reset the shot clock to 20 seconds. It's one of those obscure rules in college basketball. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 29 seconds left on the game clock for the first half. The Spartans are going to inbound the ball. Let's see if they're going to hold it for this possession, or are they just going to go right after it. It looks like they're going to work some of that clock as well. They're in no hurry, and I think that's a smart move right now.
I agree. Go into the half with the lead. Take your time. Don't rush it. Don't force anything.
It looks like a shot clock violation. The Western Wyoming Mustangs forced the shot clock violation. They're going to have about 8 seconds here to see if they can put up a score. A 3-point gets them within a bucket. A 2-pointer gets them close. They're going to put up a wild three-point shot. That's going to be off the glass, folks, and that's going to end the half right now. We're going to go into halftime right now. CNCC Spartans 29, Western Wyoming Mustangs 24. Folks, don't go anywhere right now. I'm going to kick my buddy Ruben out of the booth here. And before you head off to get your soda or get your snack, we're going to talk to head coach Nate Taryn and sophomore Jerquez Harvey. I'm going to go fetch those folks right now. Listen, stay tuned. Don't go too far. We'll be right back at you in just a few seconds. All right, folks, just as advertised, here during halftime, we got a special little treat today. Usually I send everybody to the concession stand to get nachos and sodas and beer or do their business and then come on back. But not tonight, not on opening night of basketball. Joining me here in the press box is head basketball coach for the men's basketball program, Nate Taryn, and returning third-year sophomore here at Colorado Northwestern Community College, Jerquez Harvey. Got a couple of questions for you folks. Guys, first of all, it's opening night, right? Like,
it is.
Has there been a better night to the fall so far?
No, definitely not. We've had a few scrimmages and stuff, but none that actually count towards the record, and we're at home, so tonight.
I'll tell you what, I was sharing with Ruben up here in the press box. I was running around like a geek today on campus. I was so excited that basketball season started. I couldn't hardly contain myself. But it wasn't just me. A lot of people were excited about basketball starting today, and so, I got a couple of questions for you guys. Coach, I'll start with you.
Okay.
It's going to be a different year this year than it was last year. I mean, there's no doubt, having watched you guys practice, seeing the guys that you have on the team this year. Tell the folks at home, what to expect this year? What is the difference between this year's team and last year's?
This year, I think, we only have about 3 returners that actually played any minutes, only one that played significant minutes, and he's next to me right here. So it's a lot of freshmen, a couple transfer sophomores, and I think different this year we got some athleticism. Our guard plays a lot better. I think team orientation is a lot better. We buy in a lot better. And we have a few actually returning sophomores that played a few years ago, took a year off, and are actually back. That one of them was an all-conference player as well, so I'm excited for that. And then we're going to see what we're made of on opening night. We got a tough Western Wyoming squad that we're playing against. They're 2-0, so I think you guys will see what this squad is made of tonight.
Yeah. Dre, next question's for you. Athletic Director Kendra Roby reminding you to speak directly into the microphone. So, this is really about your teammates. More specifically, last year's teammates. Missing an awful lot of scoring from last year. You got Chris is gone, Ty Burgess, Anthony Mara. These were guys that put a lot of points up for the Spartans last year. When you look at the team, what do you guys do to replace that kind of scoring?
It's kind of hard to replace that, but I think we're going to do our best to, make up with that with the amount of guards that we have on the team this year. I'm excited to see the guys too. We have a lot of potential to be a really scary team in this conference in this season alone. And I love those guys. I miss them, but we got to move on. We got to get better. It's a new year.
You said it. Going to be a potential to be a really scary team in conference this year. I love the way you put that, because I've been saying that since this summer. When we get into Scenic West Conference play, you don't want to play the Spartans. And let me go a step further. You don't want to play the Spartans in this house on Thursday night. For sure you don't want to play here. And so the next question, Coach, you played here at Colorado Northwestern as well as coached here. What does this arena mean to you?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of memories here for both me and Coach. We did play here for 2 years, so playing here, coaching here, this is my 4th season. I mean, I haven't seen any arena more than I've seen here. Probably haven't seen more tears than the arena here, more blood, more sweat. So it's a real special place, and I think the guys play up to that momentum in this arena. A couple close games last year against some ranked teams, and it's a long way up Kennedy. Kennedy drives a long little hill there to come up and play the Spartans.
It's a long way to come up. It's a long way if you're a player and you get on the coach's bad side as well. It's a long run up that hill. I've seen that happen a time or two. Dre, same question to you. Describe what it's like playing here on home court here at Heffley Arena.
To really describe it, I don't think it's like nothing else. I love this gym, and I love how the people in the community come and support us, because that's just real important to me. It shows me and the team and the guys on the team how much they actually care about the sport that I love. And, I'm willing to go put my blood, sweat, and tears out there for it.
There's no doubt. Dre said it best. We talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. There's 1,800 people that live in this town. And you'd think there were 20,000 on basketball night, the way this arena fills up. For a small town here in Rangeley, you've got some committed basketball fans. And so, last question for both of you. Last question for Coach here. Break it down. What's the key to win tonight?
Key for us is, I've been telling the guys all week, and it's no secret recipe, no matchup here, no nothing like that. It's just, can we box out? They're an extremely hard-working group there in Western Wyoming. And then can we take care of the ball? We have had woes, in preseason, take care of the ball. Lots of turnovers, been working on it in practice every day, boxing out, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. If we play hard, we box out and we take care of the ball. I have no doubt in our mind tonight.
All right, last question for you, Dre. I'll tell you what, I'll preface it with, from time to time, I sneak out of my office to come over here and make sure the gym floor is all right, and if I have to shoot baskets for 30 or 40 minutes to make sure it's all right, I do that. Almost every day that I come over here, I see you out here shooting, Dre. Whether you're working with Coach Tommy, whether you're working with Nate, whether you're out here on your own, putting in the time, putting in more time than I see the other guys putting on. What is it that's about this year that's important to you to be a leader of this team?
First of all, not just it being my last year here, my last year of junior college, but to lead this team, I want to lead by example. And, if that means me putting in as much work as I do, day in and day out, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in there and put up the most amount of shots I can put up within, whatever time period I have between classes and not. And I'm going to be right back in here at night, too, is what most people don't see. A quote that I stick by is, if you want to do well in front of thousands, you have to put in the work in front of nobody. So that's something that it's not really on and direct on that quote, but that's something that I live by.
And wise words there as well. Listen, fellas, I appreciate you joining me here. I'll let you go back to it. I know you got to get ready for your game coming up. Hopefully in about an hour and a half, I'll be looking at a scoreboard with you guys at the top of it at halftime. But Coach Nate Tarrant, thanks for joining me in the booth tonight. Sophomore Drakez Harvey, thanks for being here as well. Good luck this season, fellas. I cannot wait.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. T-minus 1 minute and counting down until the second half of basketball starts here at Heffley Arena in wonderful Rangeley, Colorado. Couple of the highlights here, Ruben. We'll just list them right now. First quarter, women's Spartan basketball blowing the doors off of them. Second quarter, Western Wyoming Mustang women's college basketball blowing the doors off of them, looking really good. We got a game at 29-24 here going into the second half.
Be fun the second half.
Had a fantastic interview with men's basketball head coach Nate Tarrin and returning third-year sophomore Jerquez Harvey. Those guys are fired up for the second edition of this doubleheader.
Well, I was watching them. The men came out and were warming up a little bit during halftime. They look pretty sharp. They look fired up and ready to go, so that'll be a good game as well.
You are going to see some athleticism out of this men's basketball team that you did not see last year. Win, lose, or draw, these guys can jump out of the gym, and I can't wait to see what they do in live action. But right now, it's all about the women's Spartan basketball team as the whistle blows, and we've got an inbound for the second half. Possession of the Western Wyoming Mustangs. Ruben, what do you think Coach K said to him at halftime?
I think, mostly just what we talked about. Really good start, way to be strong, good defense. Got to be a little tougher on the ball. Got to be a little tougher. We can't get it up. We've got to keep the momentum. Once we get going, we've got to get those baskets and keep it going. So work together as a team. Don't panic. And just keep the momentum rolling.
Hey, and good defense on that first possession by the Spartans, denying a couple of looks. Drive penetration by Danny Russo, and she dishes it off to number 24, Alyssa Civitak. A little back and forth between the teams here. Nobody can grab the ball. A little bit of a scuffle and out of bounds. Ball 2.
The Spartans are clapping like it's theirs.
Looks like the ball's going to stay with the Spartans, and let's see if they can get on the scoreboard first here in the second half. Rough second quarter. 20 points in the first quarter for the Spartans.
But they held in there.
9 points in the second.
They've still got the lead. They're still on the front foot. They're controlling the game, so they just got to keep it up.
They are, Dean. Let's see if they can come out with some composure. Looking pretty solid in their offensive set here. Looking very calm, collected. Excellent pick right there by 22 Hope Onder on pick and roll. She gets the ball back and in and out of the basket. That was a good look by Hope.
It was. It was just well planned out, well executed. The ball just didn't go down.
Quick shot, quick three-pointer by Western Wyoming, and probably an ill-advised one as the ball goes back the other way. Eyes towards the front of the court, ball in hand with Danny Russo, and she gets double-teamed and stripped. I tell you what, there's one thing that Western Wyoming has figured out is that you better guard her.
Yeah, no, that's become obvious. They have 2 or 3 people on her every play.
Well, and Danny's going to have to learn this year, very early already, what every returning great player does learn, which is once you get the mark, man, you better learn how to play with a double team.
Right.
Because when you're game planning the CNCC Spartans, you're game planning how to mitigate Danny Russo at this point.
And others will step up. We've seen a few of them do it already tonight, and they will. You've got to rely on the team. It's a team sport, so it's getting the ball around. It's not trying to force the issue. It's working it through and getting it through.
Oh, and off the foot there by Western Wyoming. Pretty sure that's a rules violation, but we'll go ahead and let that one slide there. Refs are actually doing an incredible job tonight. Our appreciation to the black and white stripes who are on the court, who came all the way out here to Northwest Colorado tonight, doing a lot of hustling themselves and calling a great game so far. Excellent transition basket there by the Mustangs. And we got a 3-point basketball game, 29-26. Going to need to see, the Spartans are going to need to get some offense going here pretty quickly. Nothing but offense in that first quarter, but they've yet to turn the light back on. And if they're going to want to finish this game, they're going to have to find the basket.
Someone else is going to have to step up. Because, as you said, they're double-teaming, triple-teaming Danny Russo. They figured out that she's pulling the strings there. So if they can get Danny open or someone starts stepping up, that'll spread their...
And a quick turnover there by the Spartans with the possession, and Coach K's had enough. She's going to call a timeout. Well,
they got to find it quick.
Yeah, it's all about strategy and answers. The Spartans had all of the answers in that first quarter. And, what can you say? Give credit to the coaching staff of Western Wyoming. They responded, and they've responded brilliantly, and I think you're exactly right. Their game plan coming into the third quarter is stick with the game plan. It's working. And right now, we've got a one-possession basketball game, and Western Wyoming's got the ball.
Well, with the weapons that Coach K has in her arsenal with the team, she can do that. It's a matter of getting them functioning and working together. So
right.
If they can start seeing the plays and seeing beyond just their own personal space and seeing the open man and passing the ball, they'll do well. I think they're still doing well on the defensive side of the ball, but
right.
they've got to get the offense rolling.
Well, and they're going to that's the key, I think, is staying tough on defense. It's awful easy to get deflated when the ball's not going down on the other end. But you expend most of your energy on the defensive end of the floor, and this Spartans team has got to stay tough. They got to protect this lead. It's marginal at this point, and that's all the more reason why defense is important at this point. They're going to get a foul on number 22, Hope Bondurant. I didn't see it, but they're going to get the foul on her nonetheless. And just like that, it looks like Hope's going to be coming out of the game. She's got a couple on her right now.
Well, that's disappointing. She's been strong underneath, and they had the clock down to 2 seconds left for Western Wyoming. So if they'd been able to hold on a little bit longer, they could have forced the turnover. So we'll see what they can do. There's 20 seconds back on the clock. The ball's inbounded, and they're playing. Dee's been strong. They're working hard. They're playing a zone defense at this point.
Working that shot clock down. Big three-pointer. Oh, in and out by Western Wyoming. That would have tied it up, but they get the rebound and get it back up. We've got a one-point basketball game. It's as close as it's been since the opening score. Here halfway through the third quarter. Let's see if the leadership here on the Spartans can step up and fill up the basket here. Another missed possession by the Spartans. Good defense by Western Wyoming on the rejection, and it's going to be going their way.
Well,
Don't look now, the Mustangs got a chance to take the lead on this possession.
Well, on that last possession, when the Spartans came down, Western Wyoming looked more than happy to give them a three-point shot. Happy to let them shoot from the outside. So if the Spartans can take advantage of that and start dropping some threes, they'll get back in control of this game and run away with it again.
Yeah, they're going to have to make those outside shots. I think you're spot on, partner. Seems like everything was falling at the beginning of the game. Awful big dry spell for the Spartans as far as shooting goes. We're only getting the easy basket. There's Courtney Lemon on a breakaway. Smart move and a pullback on that with the pump fake. And number 10 sophomore Courtney Lemon with a transition bucket to give the Spartans just a little bit of breathing room here.
Well, you got to give credit to her teammate as well for seeing her open and making the run and feeding her the ball.
Yep. Yeah, everything looked right for the Spartans on that play. And tough defense for Courtney on the other end. She gets called for a bump there, inbound by Western Wyoming. But a defensive stop with a transition bucket. Let's see if the Spartans can keep up that momentum. It's that kind of play, that kind of transition basketball that really extended the lead there in the first quarter, and really what they need to get back to. Western Wyoming putting up a lot of errant shots so far on the last couple of possessions.
The plan on the defense is working at this point.
And look at that. I like what we're seeing. Number 24 there, Alyssa Civitek. We've called her name a lot. She's a scorer, but she's also amazing with the ball. Bringing it across half court, she just put her shoulder down and went straight forward, full steam ahead, and got the foul, and drew the foul. And that's the kind of play the Spartans need as well. Good, tough, heads-up basketball, know when to attack.
You got to give credit to Audrey Jorgenson, too. She's moving around. She's moving around quick and getting that ball distribution going well.
Forced shot there by Audrey. Shot clock running down. She didn't have a lot of choices, but that wasn't a real great-looking shot. The Mustangs struggling to keep it in play themselves there. A little bit of a wonky series of possessions there, and too hard off the glass by the Mustangs, and we're coming the other way. Danny Russo with the ball. She's looking to push it.
She had 3 people on her again, so that's...
And now they're going to pull it back. They you're absolutely right. They've got to capitalize on that. When Danny's got 3 people on her, that means 2 people are open.
Right, someone's got to make that run. They'll be open. They can go straight to the
Courtney Lemon stepping up with another big bucket. A little sophomore leadership there by Courtney with 4 big points. She's been the difference maker in the last 3 minutes of this basketball game.
they pulled it back 4 points. They're doing well. They just got to keep it moving.
That was one tough crossover move there by number 20, Danielle Thomas for Western Wyoming. That was impressive. Yep.
Back to the line.
Taking it to the rack, number 24, Alyssa Civitak. Alyssa's going to go back to the line and have a chance to add to her scoring total for the night. They're going to let some subs come in. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the floor for Western Wyoming.
You're seeing a little more spark and life in the Spartans in the second half. Something Coach said in the halftime has gone through. They're a little more organized. They're not rushing as much. They're being much more calculated in the plays they're making. And I think switching to that zone defense is helping out a bit as well.
Well, and I got to be honest, I think having their backs up against a 1-point lead turned the light on a little bit for this Spartans team as well. I mean, they were coasting at 16 points at one point, and then all of a sudden they look up and they got a 1 free throw lead. It's gut check time for this Spartans team. You know, we did an awful lot of talking in the first half about the fact that this is a different team.
Well, credit to Western Wyoming for changing up the game plan, coming out with a lot more energy and excitement. They're starting to get their game plan running. I think some of those jitters have worked out early on in the season, and they're settling down a little bit. Spartans came out looking a little better on that end. They came in. I think Coach had them fairly settled to begin the game, and now it's better to keep that momentum, keeping that focus.
Well, Spartans retake the floor. Coach K kept them every millisecond of that timeout. She had something to say. Western Wyoming's waiting on the floor for him to show up. We've got the ball, ready to take some free throws. Let's see if Alyssa Civitak can capitalize on this, maybe extend that lead to 2 possessions. She's got 2 free throws coming up. One of them makes it a 2-possession game. And she hits the first one like a pro.
She made that look easy.
She really did. And so take a deep breath, Spartans. Free throw number 2. That's off the mark, but Danny Russo with the offensive rebound, and look at her fight under the glass. That was a tough move. She missed the shot, but man, that was a tough shot through a double team off offensive glass. That's the kind of hustle play you want to see from the sophomores on your team. And oh my goodness, that shot went off the front, it went off the back, it went up to the top, and it dropped down, and we're back to a 1-point game again, 34-33 Spartans. Spartans with the ball. We're seeing some great basketball here tonight, right?
No, there's been some really great moves from the basketball teams, you know, and the grit is there, the determination there, the desire is there.
And you've got Western Wyoming now all of a sudden with possession and a chance to take the lead here for the first time tonight. Can they take advantage of the Spartans' turnover?
Well, the question is, how are the Spartans going to respond?
They haven't played from behind all night.
No, this will be the first time, so they've got to keep their grip, they've got to keep going and power through this.
Oh, and that was a good dime there, but could not convert. What's the call on the floor?
Push, it looks like, from the referee.
We got a push off, an offensive foul on Western Wyoming to grab that rebound as the shot clock runs out. You know, this is one of those situations. We got great basketball playing. We get to within 1 point, and everybody locks up. You know?
It's getting a little gritty again.
Somebody's got to want it. We got 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter here. Spartans with the basketball, up by 1 point. Been struggling since the first quarter, but still have the lead. Looking good, moving the ball around. Excellent look.
That looked like it was going down. And
man, that shot did everything but drop for the Spartans, and now we're going the other way. Number 5, Tori Ross, going to attack for Western Wyoming. Oh, look. That's going to be an over-the-back call there on number 24, Melinda Davison, and the ball's going the other way.
Spartans get the ball back, get another chance. They're holding on.
We got 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Another turnover. The Spartans need to convert. Really the story of this quarter has been failure to take advantage of the turnovers, and that's both teams, honestly. Plenty of opportunities for either team to take control of this game, and you kind of feel like in this third quarter they're just maneuvering.
The opportunity's there. It's just who's going to take it, who's going to take advantage of it, who's going to step up and take advantage of that space.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Courtney Lemon affecting the play every time the ball comes her way.
She's been a difference maker this
She
quarter.
has been, and there's quick shot by Danny Russo. Can't get it to fall. No luck for anybody tonight. And a wide open look there for the Mustangs, and they cannot convert and instead turn the ball over. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession is going.
Mustangs.
That's going to the
No,
Spartans.
it's going to the Spartans. It's
Going to the Spartans.
Just keep me on my toes.
Mustangs had the ball at halftime.
That's right.
But in fairness to your partner, had we been in the second quarter, that would have been the Mustangs'
I'm
ball.
good.
I'm with you. I
Keep
followed you.
track.
I knew where you were at on that one. So once again, we got a turnover. Can they convert? Danny Russo backing her opponent in. Gets the double team, draws the foul.
And she's going to the line, I think.
Time to convert here for sure. No bigger charity shots in the game so far than the one Danny's stepping up to right now.
Well, and if she can get both of these, that gives them a little bit of breathing room at bay. It gives them a basket, keeps them at bay a little bit longer.
Coach K is going to make some changes in personnel as we come here. Number 24, Alyssa Civitak is going to come off the court. Number 14, Michaela Ladge is going to come on.
And she's looking to add a little bit more height out there on the court.
Danny really took a look at that free throw. She knows how important that shot is, and the first one goes down. Extends the lead to 35-33. Here's the second of two shots by Danny Russo. And we'll see how it goes. Danny drops them both like a pro, and the Spartans extend that lead to 3-point, but Western Wyoming looking to attack. They're moving the ball up the court pretty fast right now
They're looking to counter pretty quick.
as the Spartans fall back into that zone.
Got about a minute left on the clock. They've got some time to make nearly a
Tough,
turnover.
almost defensive turnover there by the Spartans. Another shoot in the gap, so the Spartans, but they can't quite get it. Though they do force a quick shot, offensive, off the rim, out of bounds, back to the Mustangs.
Good
But
work
some
by-
tough defense there for the
Yeah, it
Spartans.
was good work from Michaela because she had a Western Wyoming player right on her back. If she hadn't got a hand to that, she could have been right at the basket.
Absolutely tough defense. Big time move there by number 30, Kyra Meredith. For Western Wyoming, gets the bucket and one with a chance to tie the game up for the first time since 0-0.
Yeah.
Let's see if Michaela can make this count. And she does. Ruben, we're at a tie game. 47 seconds left in the third quarter here. Spartans with the ball. They're looking to break full court pressure now, Western Wyoming's bringing. A lot of opportunity there, though, but the Spartans looked a little bit confused on that.
Yeah.
That was a smart move by Western Wyoming's coaching staff right after the free throw, immediately to full press. The Spartans busted, but can't convert on the offensive end now. Western Wyoming with a chance to take the lead and hold for the last possession of the quarter. They're not going to do that. They're going to take the shot, and they're going to get it and grab the lead for the first time in the game, 38-36. The Spartans don't have a lot of time to waste. 8 seconds left in this quarter. If they're going to get a shot up, they need to get it done. But panic sets in. Turnover to Western Wyoming. And we go into the fourth quarter with the Spartans on the road, 38-36 for the first time tonight as the quarter in the last possession. For the Mustangs, they take the lead.
This is not what I would have guessed after that first quarter. That first quarter was all Spartans, all Spartans.
Indeed.
We definitely got a game.
And it's a great game. I'm enjoying what we're seeing here. Loving this competitive basketball on the opening night. Unbelievably impressed with both of the teams out on the floor right now. And I'm talking to Spartan Nation now. How do we respond? Have been ahead for 30 of the 40 minutes, and in the last 20 seconds of the third quarter, Western Wyoming takes their first lead. It's not a big lead. It's 38-36, completely recoverable.
Just one basket.
But what do you say into your team right now if you're Coach K?
This is where the grit comes into play, Kate. This is where they really show who they are and their experience.
How do you get them fired up to get back in this game? I don't know. Once again, just like the last time out, Ruben, the Mustangs are back on the floor, and Coach K is going to have the referee break it up. It's time to get back on the court. She's got a lot to say to her team right now.
Well, let's be honest. You know,
let's see how they respond.
They're not out of
Not
this
at
by
all.
any stretch of the imagination, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of solution they have when Western Wyoming's been able to draw up the
Well, here we go, folks. If you're just joining us for the fourth quarter of play, the opening event here at Heffley Arena, we've got women's college basketball and a quick turnover by the Mustangs. The Spartans respond with a tough defensive possession. They got the ball. Now let's see if they can take advantage of the turnovers, which they were unable to do in the third quarter. Could mean the difference in the game tonight. They're going to call a double dribble. You know, they make a quick move, Ruben, and double team Alyssa Civitak as well. And so now the full Mustang game plan is unfolded. Whether it's Danny or Alyssa, whichever one has the ball, everybody else swarmed to that person and shut him down. And so far, it's been working.
Well, that's just opportunities for the rest of the players on the team. You just get them the ball, get them open, and they get the baskets. And this reverse layup by Western Wyoming.
Continue to play in tough defense on the Spartan end, but they have got to convert points.
Yeah. It's
when they get defensive stops. That is the name of the game, and it's going to be the difference of whether this Spartan team starts with a win or whether they start with a loss. Is they've got to get points off defensive stops.
And Western Wyoming is playing with confidence now.
And so Western Wyoming does just that. Defensive stop on their end. They step out. All of a sudden, they're up 4 points, and this Spartan team's got to respond, and it's got to respond quick. We've got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, folks. And a turnover by your CNCC Spartans. If you're just now joining us, a little bit of a turn of events here after 30 minutes of having the lead. The Western Wyoming Mustangs are now up 40-36 here in Heffley Arena on Spartan's home court.
There's no time to panic. There's plenty of time left in the game. And I think that the players, the Spartans, realize that.
We've got an over the back there.
And another turnover by Western Wyoming. So the Spartans have another chance at this.
21 Jalen Lawson on that foul. Coach not happy about that. That wasn't a very headsy play by the Mustangs. They don't have a lot of margin for error here either. But the question we've been asking, look at that, making it look effortless. And she gives a little exasperated look there. Danny's had a tough couple of shots there.
There you go.
Finally gets one in. Now she's got the steal. She's going to go all the way in. 4 quick points by Danny Russo to tie the game back up. That's sophomore leadership.
There you go.
Right
and
there.
That's what you need. You need someone to step up, and Danny said, okay, I've got this.
We've been calling her name, calling her number all game, and I'm sitting here going, when are they going to respond? Who is going to take the call for the Spartans?
There you go.
And a defensive rejection. She's all over the court right now. Tough double dribble call by the coaches, but the story of the last 90 seconds is Danny Russo, defensive stop bucket, defensive rejection bucket, transition double dribble, but it's been all Danny for the last 90 seconds.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't Danny, and that was a tough call, because I think one of the Western players reached in, knocked it off the thigh of the Spartan player driving the ball. So
Coach K not happy about that at all. She thought it was tipped for sure. The They're going to call a foul, and they're going to get Danny on a foul on that one. We don't have a replay up here in the booth, but I got to tell you, she looked vertical to me, and it looked like she got all balls.
Well, this is why I'm not the ref. We'll leave that to the ref. I know that's their call.
We will. They're getting paid tonight, partner. We're not. You know, I don't think ESPN understands how cheaply I will work. And they still have not called.
Right.
Still have not called.
But this can't be easy.
I figure Vital's contract is way bigger than ours. And so they get 1 of 2. The back end of 2 free throws there for the Western Wyoming Mustangs. Can the Spartans use this opportunity to take the lead? Danny Russo with the ball in her hand. If you're Coach K right now,
There you go.
that's 6 points in a row. If you're Coach K right now, you want Danny touching the ball on every offensive possession. Just like that, thanks to a 6-1 run by Danny Russo against the Mustangs,
Spartans are back in
Spartans
the game.
are back in this game.
And good.